Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching The Boys, Season 3, Episode 4.
Glorious 5-year plan.
What is that?
It's probably Homelander's plan.
Okay. The description of this episode was insane.
They all are. They're all like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it didn't say anything about
No.
the episode. It was just talking about the 7 dildos.
No.
And I was like, what?
Because last week's is like, tonight at 9/8/7 Central on Vought Plus, it's the season finale of American Hero. 3 contestants remain, but only 2 will join the 7. So it's like as if it's an advertisement
For the world.
Yeah,
Okay.
every time. And so this was about the dildos. Hashtag clash of the dildos.
All of this is still because Sherry owes Nina.
Yeah.
And they came in because they're trying to use Nina as a backdoor into Russia. I was correct when I assumed that last week. They came in hot, Butcher didn't even test the water with Nina and was like, here's what Sherry owes you, and then an additional $100,000 for your, trouble. And it's like, she's gonna play ball. You can't start with all of that.
All of it, yeah.
And so then...
Well, it's just such a give and take thing that they're doing, though. So to me, I'm sort of like, why did you lay all your cards on the table when she was just going to ask you for... Like, you need to ask her to get you into Russia. She's obviously going to have you take care of something in Russia while you're there.
So I can't remember. Did we know Nina before? Did we meet her in season 1 or 2?
No, last week.
I don't understand her vendetta with Sherry. I mean, they've said it, but I'm like, take your $100,000 and let it go. Like, because Sherry's just kind of...
Well, she's gone.
Yeah.
So I think it's sort of like you can't... If you're like a Russian mob gangster and
you can't spare anybody because it's weakness.
You have to someone has to pay for it.
So she sent them into Russia to deal with an oligarch.
Yeah. Who is Ivan the Baker from Schitt's Creek, just as an FYI.
And Homelander volunteered Kimiko.
Butcher volunteered Kimiko.
Did I say Homelander?
That was a hilarious Freudian slip, though, because the lines, they are a blurrin'.
Butcher volunteered Kimiko. She wasn't happy about it. She told him, he said he didn't care.
Because he basically was like, it's all you're good for.
Well, she was like, I'm not going to be your gun. And he was like, yeah, you are. And I don't know. I'm also...
I feel like it's really, now that we've acknowledged that we both don't like Butcher, it's all that we can focus on.
I don't think Carl's doing a bad job.
Carl Urban's
characterization.
Great.
But it's just so... Because Hughie... Okay, well, 2 things. Number 1, I am not interested at all in this Dan Humphrey plot of his.
Oh, no. Good call.
100% not interested. However, Jack Quaid has a very stealthy appeal, a very stealthy charm, and he was naked in this episode. And I was like, oh.
We got a couple boy butts in this episode. Yeah.
So I really liked him, even though I didn't like anything he did. I got very confused by the end.
Okay, what I'll say is that I also don't want this Dan Humphrey storyline, but what I do like about it is that actually you could see an elevation in confidence from just his body language.
But I said something at about the 2/3 mark with Ashley's storyline where she was sexually harassing the Tucker Carlson character. And I was like,
I mean, he deserves it.
Well, so I was like, I need to preface, in this world, in this scenario, morals are relative and off the table. So I was like, in this type of situation, if I were in Ashley's position, I would absolutely use it to sleep with the weirdest guys possible.
Well, also,
and emphasis on the weirdest guys.
Yeah. He was so into it.
Absolutely.
He just was like, how would you punish me? And she pulled out a humongous strap-on, and he was like, I've been very bad.
But I'm just saying, you have to imagine she's already, when you've done the best, what's left is the rest. Or what is it from The Magicians, where he's like, when you've had the best, all that's left is strange.
Oh,
and so anyway, regardless, there was something pinging my id about just the weird, like the Adam Bork director guy and people, or it's like when you're watching Futurama and they I'm listening to Jake's Monsoon's Futurama podcast, and she asks, who would you bang? And someone was like, Zap Brannigan. And they're like, but he's bad in bed. I'm like, that's not...
No, that's not the point.
You're not banging Zap to have a good time. You're banging Zap because it's for the story.
That's what you do.
Yeah. So regardless.
Also Leela. So.
But now we said it. Or I was like, Amy. That's literally
Amy. Yeah, or Amy.
But so anyways.
I'm like, none of the dudes. Leela or Amy. And
I would try really hard.
I don't think it would work. I don't think he would try hard enough.
So there was something about Hughie's like weird skinny body. Just like a normal, it's not weird at all. It was just like, this is a show full of like muscle suits.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, he's cute with his sort of like low nipples.
They're a little low.
And so I was really into it. But no, I'm just not into this like jealous thing that he's dating up.
Especially because Starlight told him about the Homelander stuff literally immediately.
And you are a punching bag for the public, you know what I mean? To make fun of. And
he had the nerve to be like, Homelander almost lasered me in half with his eyes this morning. And I was like, Hughie, he absolutely did not. Because
that is the thing that makes Homelander, he would be insufferable if he didn't have Antony's sense of humor.
Yeah.
And the times when Homelander is having fun.
Yeah.
Versus the times when he's actually angry. They're hard to tell, but there are distinctions between them. But it's just like, he wasn't going to do anything to you then. And furthermore, it's like, so I am very vocal about liking Starlight. She's, one of my favorite characters. She is in a real shit or get off the pot place. Are you feeling that as well?
Also, okay. So I guess if we're going to jump completely to the end, Supersonic is Dunzo. So are we we're assuming Homelander did that, or did he have Victoria do it?
Oh.
He looked ripped apart.
He looked blown up.
In a way.
He did visit Victoria, so I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Regardless.
I figured, what was his name? Supersonic?
Alex.
I figured he was either going to betray her or be fridged, which...
I was really bummed because I liked him, but the more that I think about it, why was he telling A-Train anything? Why are you just... Starlight is keeping this so quiet and you're bringing third parties into this?
It was what I was saying in the previous episode where I was like, Starlight is being very upfront with him about like what is happening. And he was being very cavalier. Like he was being very sort of like... Because I went a bit more like... Not quite milady, but like let me be the hero, the chivalrous type.
Sure.
And it wasn't quite that, but I think it was evidence of how in over his head he was.
Yeah, well, because he was
literally.
like he made a very like noob mistake by like bringing A-Train into it like immediately.
But I am sort of like
because A-Train is trying so hard to like stay in the 7, and he's like whatever it takes to keep me in here. So obviously he's gonna go to Homelander and be like, they're plotting against you.
Yeah, because it also in that regard it kind of felt like a rookie mistake on Starlight as well, because again, I love her, but I'm at a place where I'm like, what can she do?
She makes like laser.
It's like explosions,
beams,
like
kind of,
like light explosions.
Yeah.
I would be curious because she started to glow her eyes at Homelander at the end, and he was like, "We've been down this road," and I don't remember.
Well, there is like oomph to it when she pushes it out, but she can't compete against him and his laser eyes.
Have they? I don't remember. Has she tried?
Well, I don't think so, but I don't know, man.
Part of me, when he was like, "We've been down this road," I was like, "Have we? Give it a go. Give it a whirl." Because I was saying this when you went in to change, but I was saying it to Chris or to Will and Rachel. I was like, I understand that this is a stupid thing I'm about to say because it's the point of the season, but I was like, who can take on Homelander?
Well, at this point, I feel like it's going to be Soldier Boy.
Or Butcher is going to do something stupid. Or both.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, here's the thing.
Well, Maeve was going with, like, Maeve and Starlight's angle was like a team effort. Like, they needed all of them.
Well, because they think there's this weapon, and now we find there's no weapon. I knew there was no weapon the whole time.
But so A-Train used to be fast, is not anymore.
Well, he just can't because his heart will explode.
Yeah, because he did too many V drugs.
Yeah.
Starlight can make sparkles. Deep can talk to fish.
Yeah, he's strong.
Maeve, is he?
Yeah, he's strong.
Maeve is strong.
Yeah.
And Kimiko was regenerative.
Yeah, and strong.
So I was sort of like, so is the question mark still only really Victoria? Because when Homelander came to her apartment, which good casting or good location scouting, it looked like a DC apartment.
It did look like a DC apartment.
It was like,
totally
this is very
right.
DC.
Yeah.
Homelander said, he was like, oh, give it a go. Why don't we see? Yeah. And the fact that they played that for comedy, in my mind, means that the writers are leaving that open as an option. That she could blow. My guess is she probably wouldn't be able to kill him, but she could hurt him. Would be my guess.
Well, see, and that's what Maeve said to Starlight, is she was like, I can get you an opening. I can get someone an opening. So if we get this weapon.
And Maeve was she's like preparing to full kamikaze. I don't love it, but what I do love about it is it's such a like tiresome labored male cliche.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of interesting giving it to a woman.
To her, yeah.
Especially, as we've said several times, in a show that has such a wealth of female characters. Yeah. One of them can be like, ugh.
I think I have reached critical mass with Homelander. If he survives this season fully intact, I'll be furious.
Okay, so I'm not there, but that is sort of the second part to my who can take him on.
Like, how long can he hold everybody hostage? You know what I mean?
Like, what is his... Literally, that was the second part to that question, is what is his goal? Like, what... Because they did admit that he was like, I want to be loved, but I'll settle for being feared. Which is, as far as writing goes, that's a fine. I'll accept that. But it's not quite at the caliber that I've come to expect from the show.
Sure.
So I am sort of like, what precisely is he trying to accomplish here? And I have to wonder if he himself, I mean, is he in that God place that gods get sometimes where they won't...
Yeah.
Is that where you're going?
No, 100%. Because he had that confrontation with Edgar as well, where Edgar basically was like, here's the thing, you don't have anyone left to answer to. And he was sort of like, yeah, of course. And he was like, but you also don't have anybody to cover for you anymore either. Because they like... He and Victoria ousted Edgar. Mm-hmm. And so he was like, I think you're going to come to find out very soon that, like, that's going to be a problem for you, not having anybody to cover for you. And then he was like, you're nothing. You're just a bad product. And I mean, it's hilarious.
But it's like, if you're at a certain point, if you're that powerful or if you can't be beaten, at a certain point, you have to get bored.
Yeah.
And curious when you've had the best, what's left of, you know what I mean? Like, he has to be sort of like, well, let's see if someone can hurt me.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure. And I think that, episodes, so quite literally the middle of the season is the place where we would be having these questions and these conversations.
It did get greenlit for season 4
did it really?
Today.
Nice.
So yeah, we will be here for at least one more season.
I have more questions there, I guess, but I can't quite think of anything worth adding on to the conversation at that point. I do just want a little bit more, particularly from Starlight.
Yeah.
But also from
a little more like action, like let's actually get something accomplished. Do something.
Which I believe they're going somewhere with that. But so back in Russia, we do have the boys TM going after oligarch TM. They send Kimiko in. It was a very easy mission.
Yeah.
She dildoed everybody to death. I made a comment because it's one of my least favorite tropes, where I was like, I can't wait to see all these, Russian sex workers get riddled with bullets.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen, so much so that one of the workers shot Kimiko.
Yeah.
She, of course, recovered from it. I'm glad it was weird, but I'm glad it happened. It basically forced Kimiko to she was already sort of second guessing her place in this reality, but it sort of forced her to confront some other facets of it.
Yeah. Because then she and Frenchie were like, she was like, we need to leave. I want to leave. I don't like this. I don't like what's happening to Butcher. Like, I don't like being used this way. And he was like, well, we have to finish this mission. And that obviously was, then she got injured in the like laboratory. And she's currently not healing. We don't know why.
Yeah.
But I mean, it had to be with that burst that Soldier Boy sent at her. But
they did find and free Soldier Boy. And
more importantly, Jamie the hamster.
Yeah, when last we saw, he was burrowing into one of those skulls.
Yeah.
So I sort of feel like we're going to see him again.
Chekhov's super hamster.
I really feel like that couldn't be more patented this show, that he's going to play some pivotal. What if he takes out Homelander?
Amazing. That would be hilarious. Sure. Let's do
we
it.
think this show could survive without? Well,
yes, I do.
Okay, it absolutely could. The question is, will it? Will they find a way?
I'm sure. I'm sure. Because, well, that's the thing. I think being like a non-comic reader, graphic novel reader for this is sort of hurting us.
They
in that
follow the
sense.
comics, but they also.
But like, I don't know if Homelander ever dies. But that's the thing for me is like, I'm maybe not 100% there. I'm nearing critical mass where it's like there's a certain point where he can't be holding this show hostage all of the he's holding all of the characters hostage. I would actually love
if they could find some way to snap him where
that's why I said
they like are able to reprogram him or something.
That's why I said if he gets out of season 3 fully intact, because
what if they pull a spike and put a chip in his brain?
I was gonna say, like, not necessarily that, but like if they sort of somehow remove some of his powers or something, so he can't just willy-nilly kill everyone. I mean, that you can't have a villain.
Someone has to hold his leash.
He has to have some kind of leash in order for him to keep being interesting.
And
I would prefer that and keep Antony Starr on the show. But if we have to lose Antony Starr, then
how are we feeling about Victoria now? And also, because you were a little bit halfway through this episode, you were sort of like, I feel like we've lost her character. But then there was the reveal that she was kind of working with Homelander.
Because she was back? It did a little. She was like presenting herself as being like terrified to call Homelander out directly, and I was like, that's all you did in season 2. Like, why are you terrified now? Now that we know you're a superhero, why are you more terrified now?
Well, and other than the fact that she was blowing people's heads up in season 2, like, I remember that, but I don't remember the nuances around it. I remember the implication was that she was a bad guy, but she seems much more conflicted.
She's gray.
She's much grayer here. What was the deal with her daughter Zoe? She was giving her superpower serum?
The V, yeah.
Okay.
She was like, it'll keep you safe.
It could possibly keep you safe in some form.
Maybe. It could also make you turn tiny so you fly up dudes' dicks all the time.
Because it looked like she was turning into like scales or reptile something.
Yeah, her back went all weird.
So I'm not looking forward to that reveal next week.
Yeah, me neither.
Hughie did take the serum.
Yeah.
He is riding high. I'm not loving it. It's not...
Because he also stole it. Butcher didn't give it to him.
I thought Butcher did. I thought they were making that up.
Oh, do you think so?
I think they were saving
Well, because then he went to apologize to Butcher, though.
That was privately?
No, in front of everybody. Well, it was like everyone was dispersing, and he looked at Butcher and was like, oh, I'm like... Yeah.
I assumed they were putting that on because that would make everybody madder if Butcher gave it to him.
Maybe.
But I'm prepared to take that.
Yeah.
One of those two scenarios happened. But no, he's flying real high.
That come down is going to be interesting. Also, now we've used up all of the V24. He only had 3 vials.
Really?
And he took it twice, and Hughie took it once. So, I mean, Maeve could, like, maybe get more, but...
Well, Jack is charming enough that I'm willing to see it through, but this is a quite literally toxic combination of male butt hurtitude and now addiction, like physical addiction.
Yeah.
Because didn't he say, was he the one that said, someone said something about being so angry. Yeah, it was Hughie.
Yeah, it was him. Yeah.
He was like, I'm so angry. I was like, yes.
The perfect time to abuse substances.
Let the anger pulse through you. You know, I criticize, we just watched the first 3 episodes, 1, 2, and 3 of Star Wars, and I criticized her for being too on the nose, but apparently it'd be like that sometimes.
The Deep and his wife continue to Macbeth it up in here.
She was quite literally mouthing along
to what he was saying. It was because he was like agreeing with Homelander, and to the point where Homelander was like, yes, Deep, that is correct. That's odd that you're correct.
So this is a very me take, and liking her is a very me, us thing.
Yeah.
They're making sure that she is on this show.
Yep.
I'm curious if she's going to bypass Deep and go straight for Homelander.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean... I don't think he'd go for it.
Homelander?
Yeah. I just don't think, I don't know. I don't think he'd go
for
like a normie.
I don't know. There's V. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I said, they're making, oh my God, also, because his like, the embarrassment of riches when it comes to characters.
Yeah.
Because we already talked about Ashley, but when she had that scene with Homelander and he was like, is your brain being fucked by stupid?
Yeah. Is your idiot brain being fucked by stupid?
And then word for word, she recited that
to the guy later.
To Coleman, whatever his name is. That was really good.
I was gonna say one more thing too. Oh, A-Train recreated that Kendall Jenner Pepsi commercial.
There was a handful of dated references in this episode that still worked. Mm-hmm. I would like the taco bowl. I was like, I'll allow it. It's because, again, it just be like that.
Yeah.
But that Pepsi commercial was so bad.
Yeah.
I had successfully blocked it. Mm-hmm. And then this recreation, again, it's like last year or two of like the Trump administration when SNL skits got so dumb. And it's like, but how do you mock something?
That's like already so dumb.
So it's like,
you can't make it dumber. And then the only other thing is that A-Train is still trying to go after Blue Hawk. And nobody else is like really interested.
What was that weird back and forth with it? I mean, I'll accept if it was just there, but there was a weird back and forth where Starlight was like, "Oh my God, that's terrible," and he was like, "Thank you."
Yeah.
And I was sort of like, was that genuine or is this more performative? Like, it seems like it would be genuine from her.
I believe it was genuine from her, but I think even though he is basically trying to do something right because his brother told him an injustice was occurring, and he is trying to like find his roots now that he can't be fast.
I love my girl Starlight. I'm like, you've got to be able to do, you've got to have an ace in your back pocket. Yeah.
She can like fight and stuff, and then whatever. It's like a shockwave, kind of like a light and shockwave thing.
And I'm a little bit expecting. I threw down the phrase "slave Leah" before. I'm expecting her to sort of lean into it more than she is.
Well, which she told Hughie, she was like, "I have to. Like you were right. I have to lean into this in order to make it work."
I feel like she might have something big in her. Sleeve, that could really do something. And I think they're going to wait till the last minute to throw it down.
Sure. Also, Homelander signed Hughie's cast and it just said best, Homelander on the whole thing. Hilarious. Solid gold.
Oh, well, yeah, they got Soldier Boy out, so he's on the run.
Yeah, he basically just ran away. Naked, another little boy, but...
It was really nice.
Yeah, Jensen Ackles is hot.
Both him and Jack, I was like, come on.
Turn around. Turn the other way.
Or just
on the side.
And Kimiko is currently dying. I don't think she's going to, however, I mean, we do lose people, and I don't know.
The boys need a girl. They can't lose their only girl. She also couldn't walk in heels. That's why you need 2 girls on your team.
Which historically has been Starlight, but she's so trapped in her literal ivory tower.
Yeah. Gilded cage.
So, okay. See you next week.
Bye.